morning, everybody, and welcome to this Friday's Wake Up Call on Crafters TV. I'm glad you're joining us today because I'm obviously in a different position today. I'm going to be your presenter throughout the next couple of hours and this afternoon show. We have a jam-packed day, and what's great about today is we've got sewing on. So you know our sewing, our soft crafts comes to us every other Friday, and I'm super excited because it's the one thing in crafts that I don't really know a lot about, so I'm really excited to learn all about that. But we're going to have a great day today because not only have I got one special guest, I've also got two special guests, and actually two of my absolute favourite people who are just amazing, the most bubbly people that you could meet, the most talented people that you could meet. So let's introduce them straight away. We've got our Becky in the studio with us, and we've got our Jamie Rodgers from Creative Expressions. Woo!
That's a lovely introduction, isn't it?
I'm so excited today.
I have to pay her for that later.
We do.
Yeah, it's all right. I've got it in my back pocket, so it's all good. It's all good. And the best thing about today, it's not a fake Friday. It's actually Friday today, which is amazing, which I love. You know what? I come in this morning, guys, and I said to John, you know, I've got a half day today, and he was like, a half day, and I was like, actually, I've not got a half day because I still work till 5 o'clock, but because I haven't got this evening show, it feels like I've got a half day. I mean, I still won't get home till 9 o'clock tonight, but I do get home a lot earlier than 12 o'clock, which is my normal time, which is great. So let us know what you're up to on this Friday, whether it's the morning, afternoon or evening that you're watching from. Welcome wherever you are in the world. But let's have a chat with Becky and see exactly what we got coming up today, because I am super excited for these.
It's really good to actually do a softer show with you, because like you say, you're not a sewer.
No, not at all.
But actually, you'll probably have questions that perhaps some of the viewers who are just sort of starting with soft crafts will have as well. So that's always a good thing. And it's always nice. It's nice to be back because it's the first time I've done a softer side show for about 3 weeks.
Absolutely. You've been holidays. See, Becky's taking over the role of just having all the time off and having lots of holidays.
I haven't really. It's just the way it's fallen. But I did hear people calling me a slacker the other day, which is a little bit rude.
How dare they?
Very dare they. But I did feel slightly like I might have to put my sat nav on to work out how to get to the house, to the studio, because it's been such a long time. But today on the softer side, we've got a launch. Which are these?
And they are brand new, worldwide launch.
So these are our new Christmas scene applique stencils. So we've got 4 different ones, and we've got the sort of coming home for Christmas one here. We've got a reindeer one with some gorgeous little designs in this one, and the snowman, and then finally we have Santa's grotto. So in here are your stencils in order for you to use these and create some really beautiful items. We've got loads of samples to show you later on in the show, but you can use these for decorating stockings, for doing Christmas tree skirt, which I thought was a really good idea. That coming home for Christmas, one of the samples we've got is actually a Christmas tree skirt with all the little cars driving around, which I think is such a lovely idea. It's great for using up all your scraps of fabric. You can use felt, you can use ordinary cotton, you can hand embroider them, you could sew them with your sewing machine, you could do free motion machine embroidery, all sorts of different things. So it's really, really exciting to show you all the bits and pieces we're going to have on the show today.
So would you say, Becky, these are for beginner crafters as well as advanced crafters?
Absolutely.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
That's great.
You're going to be wanting these.
I might want them. I might want them. Do we do a spray glue that we can stick them on with?
We do, yeah. We do a spray glue. We do a spray glue that's permanent and one that's repositional.
So I don't even need to sew.
No.
Amazing, amazing. So, and the other thing on soft side that's coming up, and please jump ahead for these, because honestly, we've got a lucky dip bag, and it means for just £2, we're going to send you something that you won't know about, and I'm going to show you a few samples of what we got, which is pretty amazing. Dip ahead, dip as many times as you want, you'll get something different every single time, so that's amazing, just £2.
That's great.
Yeah, I mean, and when you see some of the bits that we've got to pop into those bags, that's the excitement of a lucky dip, isn't it, that you really don't know what you're going to get, and it's just going to be a really good surprise, which is amazing. Right, Jamie, what have you got coming up for us? And in fact, I'm asking him, but I already know, and I'm super excited because I love these dies, and you've got a whole new set, haven't you?
We have, yes. So we bought you the original tea bag folding dies. a couple of months ago now.
Yes.
But we're back with a brand new festive take on these. So again, we're going to die cut them, we're going to score them as they go through the machine, and then it's just down to how we wish to fold them. There are several different folds we can actually create. And then a bit like Becky said with these, you can take them and you can make all different things with them. So not only can you use them for your card making, you can also make baubles for your Christmas tree with them. You can make all different decorations. You can turn them into borders, rosettes, badges, whatever you wish to. It's just a really fun form of origami that you can build up. And we've also got matching stamps that go with them as well, and different sizes.
I love that. I really was, when you brought them in, I was like absolutely fascinated by all these little intricate folds you could do. It's brilliant.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
I promise you, it's really, really easy. I'll show you today, but we've also got videos and there's also instructions in the packaging, so anyone can do it.
Oh,
it's
fantastic.
Not complicated.
Oh,
I
I'm looking
promise.
forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And what I love is creative expressions are very much like Crafter's Companion, and Jamie will, as he's just said, go online. You'll be able to see all those videos, those tutorials, because there's nothing worse than you buying something and then not remembering what you do with them. So being able to go on is just priceless to anybody, to have that education and that build up of what you can do with them afterwards. And the samples, I mean, you always know, Jamie, you are the magic man of samples. He brings them all to us, and I want to show you as many as we can today. So absolutely amazing. So to start off with, let's have a look and see exactly what we've got coming up with these templates. The templates themselves are absolutely beautiful. They are, there's 4 different ones. Now you can buy these individual, but as always, buying the full set is absolutely incredible and a good way to go. The 4 different ones. I'm going to also ask Becky actually with these to see if we can do these, use them in paper crafting, because I think having templates like this to use in your paper your paper crafting is great for the kids, and being able to make all these different shapes. So we'll have a good look at these and see exactly what we've got on offer. But honestly, I think, in fact, to start with, let's have a look and see who's on social. We've got Grace on social today. Morning, Grace. She's going to be controlling everything on the socials. Remember, we're fully interactive, so get in touch, send us a message. They'll get sent through to the studio here, and I can read them out. Any questions today for Becky or Jamie, then send them our way, because we're absolutely put them across. And always remember, no question is a silly question, and you'll know today, because I'm going to be the one asking silly questions that I think are silly, but hopefully they might be the ones that you may not just have the confidence to ask, because I don't know a lot about sewing, so I'm really interested in seeing Becky in her full glory and in all her action today. So who have we got in this morning? We have Sarah Brown, always from Australia. Sarah, do you ever sleep? But she's saying hello to Becky and Debbie and Jamie and all the team, so sending hugs all the way from Melbourne, Australia. We've got June Warden from Body Scotland. We've got Stephen Nicol. Stephen, I think I might know you from years ago actually, but Stephen Nichols in saying good morning to everybody. We've got June in, we've got Eleanor's in, she's saying hi Debbie, Becky and Jamie and the CT TV crew. Hope it all is good with you. We are all good. And Eve B is saying, oh yeah, glad to see Jamie today. So absolutely amazing, and saying morning Debbie, how are you today? You know what, I'm really well. I've had a really good week, because I was quite poorly last week, and I feel like I'm getting right back to good health now, so I'm very well. And I've got my granddaughters for the weekend this weekend, which I'm really excited about. So what I want to know is what you're up to this weekend, so let me know, and we'll all compare what we're going to do for our weekend. Right, are you ready for this? Because honestly, we have the most amazing pieces. I've got my lucky dip bag, and you know what, I don't sew, but I think I'd be really loving anything that comes in here to try and work out what I can do with them, because you are getting all sorts of things. Now to start off with, we've got I'm going to just bring in a wad of material here, all different types of material, which is quite amazing. Beautiful designs, patterns, colours. Now remember, this is a lucky dip. You could be getting one of these. If you go for 4 lucky dips, 5 lucky dips, you could get all of these. All different ones, and honestly there are so many different ones to choose from that they're just going to pop in into the post for you in your lucky dip. Only £2. I'm going to open one of these up because this is a lot of material. Becky, how much do you get in these big lots of materials like this?
I think you're getting half a metre there.
Look at
yeah,
that.
Half a metre.
That's amazing. Half a metre for £2.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, isn't it? That's amazing. I love the fact that you won't know what you're getting. It'll be a complete lucky dip for you. Dip as many times as you like. You're going to absolutely love those. What else is in here? Look at it. Look at this. I mean, that is incredible. We've got some, it's wool. I mean, that's really thick wool. What an unusual, I'm sure you can do lots of crafts with that. Lots of different things. Type that in, so you could be getting that. £2. I mean, that's amazing. Absolutely. That would be good, wouldn't it, for like edging cushions and
you could,
things like that.
Do that, or maybe making like a rag doll and using that for the hair.
Oh, the hair, yes, that's amazing. We've got this. I have no idea what this is, so I'm going to let Becky tell me what that is. It says it's a patchwork ruler.
It is.
Good
It's a
thing
ruler.
to have?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, I have hundreds of different types of rulers. These are always good to have. And for £2 or even £1.60, I mean, you can't, you can't hear it.
So that could be in there, absolutely. We've got this one, which looks like it's a blade changing tool for your fiskars. So that could be in there. This one here is your inkjet transfer sheets.
Yeah, so you can do you can print a picture using your inkjet printer, and then you can use this fabric to then, this paper to then transfer that pattern onto fabric. So it's really good for if you're going to make tops or jackets or that kind of thing like you've got here. But actually, if you're going to be making, you know, if you're into scrapbooking, you can make a fabric scrapbook. There's nothing to stop you from making, not paper scrapbooking, but fabric scrapbooking. So you can sort of get photographs. You could then print and then get onto fabric and then embroider afterwards.
Oh my goodness, I love that. And that's got to be worth more than £2. So, and full instructions on the back. So that could be in your £2 goodie bag. Some of your reels. So look at them, beautiful, lovely different colours of all your threads. And then also we've got some faux leather in here as well. Do you know what? We were looking at the faux leather earlier, and John was telling me that he used our faux leather to redo his seats on his bike, on his motorbike, and he showed me a picture. He said he was going to send the pictures to Charlotte and see if we can show it, but that's made out of our faux leather, so it shows how strong it is, how pliable and how amazing it is. So hopefully we'll show that later on and you can see. But that's amazing. That's just a few of the pieces that you can get. Now remember, it's a lucky dip. You could be getting 1, 2, 3, however many you order of those, you will get a different one in every single lucky dip. I would put 10's worth in and get 5 lucky dips and see what you get, because there's some of the things that you could be getting, which is truly amazing. Now, something else that we've got, I'm just going to bend down here and get them, because we do have our fabric of the week. This is really nice. I love this. I think as fabric of the week goes, having that Christmas fabric is incredible. Is this something that's going to work with our stencils as well? Could you do them out of patterns?
Yeah, and actually some of the demonstrations I'm going to be doing today aren't just with plain fabric, they're using that as well.
Oh wow, oh even nice. But look at the colours, I love these. These take me back to my nan. She used to have these sort of colours. They're almost like that old sort of vintage look
vintage
about
Christmas.
them, which are absolutely beautiful. I just love them. I mean, this one's got the gingerbread house all over that design. I mean, that is gorgeous. I tell you what I love about this. There was a card yesterday we were showing, and it had these sort of teals on it, those really soft teals and the oranges, and that works really well, doesn't it? Such a beautiful design. You're then getting the, oh look, I mean, this one really screams gingerbread of everything, doesn't it? It's got the gingerbread men on there, the houses, the cookies. I mean, that is stunning. I absolutely love that. So many different things, I'm sure, that you can make out of that. This one's great. It's like star bunting, little bunting all over there. Absolutely beautiful.
And not just with Christmas, this one. You can easily get away with using this at other times of the year. It's so pretty, you know.
It's like a celebration one, isn't it? It would have been great for the Jubilee, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, such a beautiful one, that one. Yeah, really really like that one. Great little cushion cover you can make out of there, tea towels, I suppose. I'm probably just saying ridiculous things, but
no,
I'm
it's
just,
true, absolutely
yeah,
true.
and I love this one. I think this is beautiful. I don't know if these are buttons or...
They're
but the
cookies.
colour...
Christmas
Oh, they're
cookies.
cookies. Of course they're cookies. I love the colour of this. It's like that orangey red, isn't it? It's just a beautiful colour to wear for. And again, I don't think that has to be Christmas either. So
no, I
really
completely agree with
beautiful
you.
one. And then the next one we've got, now this is hearts, but actually it doesn't look like hearts, but it's tiny little hearts put together to create that beautiful pattern. And this is so nice. I think this has got a real vintage feel about it. That cream is lovely, that really soft teal colour. Beautiful designs. Now they're all your separate ones of the materials that you're getting, but on top of that we do have our, so this one is our 5-piece fat quarter bundle. So you're getting all those still same designs, but you're getting them in your fat quarters and 5 pieces in them. And then our next one is our 5-piece, and these ones are your half-metre bundles as well. Coming to you packed like this, I mean beautifully packaged. What a lovely gift to give to someone if you know someone that can gift these. These ones are $19.99 or $23 today, so absolutely amazing. Right, so we're going to head back to our what's launching. Remember, this is brand new today. In fact, it's brand new. You can't buy anywhere else. It's launching today for the first time. These are really big templates that you're going to be using time and time and time again. Every single year you're going to be getting these out, and actually throughout the year you're going to be able to be really creative with these, so absolutely amazing. Let's just have a look and see if there's anybody else saying hello this morning. Linda's saying hello, Val's saying hello, Kirsty's saying hello. We've got a few messages, so good morning everyone, listening while getting ready for work. Have a great day. Hi Debbie and Becky, looking forward to seeing your demos today. Me too, absolutely. Still very hot, so another day for relaxing and keeping cool. So that's Val in Southampton. Kirsty's saying good morning, it's very sunny and warm here in Stockton area. And Sarah is saying, I love seeing Debbie on the other side today. Both Becky and Debbie looking lovely. Welcome back, Becky.
Oh.
You were missed. Absolutely, it's lovely to see Becky, and I'm thrilled that I get to have that chance to work with Becky another day, but in a different sort of role. So we're going to head on over to Becky, and she's just going to teach me exactly what I can do to do some sewing. What you got for us, Becky?
Well, I thought I'd show you a few of the samples that the design team have made using these Christmas scene appliques. So this is a doorstop. This is just gorgeous. This is really, really lovely. Now this has been done very simply. You're going to get all of those sort of shapes in here to make all this design, and this has been finished off with free motion machine embroidery. That's not something I'm going to demonstrate today, mainly because I have to keep changing sewing machines and changing feet, and it just takes a bit of time. But if you do want to have a look at free motion machine embroidery, have a look online. There's plenty of videos to have a look at. But you can see how effective that is, and that is just one of those little designs that we've got. But we've also got all sorts of other things. So you could be using these for decorating Christmassy bags, which is a lovely idea. You could use those as gift bags, or perhaps as a bag for a present. This, oh, look at it. Look at, isn't he so cute? And absolutely, you could definitely use these stencils for papercraft if that's what you wanted to do. I'm a big fan of having everything matching. I like to have my table matching, my Christmas tree, and my presents have to be wrapped in the same colours. Everything has to match. So for me, being able to, if you're going to make this cushion, I would make a gift tag that looked exactly the same. To put on it.
I love that.
And maybe even use it for drawing on some brown paper to make your own wrapping paper. You could absolutely do that. So again, you're going to be getting all of the little designs in this particular design here for the reindeer to make this. This has been done with free motion machine embroidery on here as well. Then this final one, which I think is just incredible, is this Christmas tree skirt.
Oh,
So I can't show you the full thing because no, I haven't got a Christmas tree. I could almost wear it as a skirt if it was a little bit thinner. But this one is this coming home for Christmas design. So you've got all these cars sort of travelling around, filled with presents, filled with Christmas trees. Look how lovely that is. Now this is something, yes, this will take you a bit of time to work on. This is quite a big project, but this is something you're going to be able to use every single year. And that's the sort of key thing, being able to use these designs to perhaps make some Christmas stockings for the children, for your grandchildren. They're things that you're going to be handing down for years to come. So that's the kind of sort of idea that we had with these designs. So we have 4 different ones in the pack. The first one is a driving home for Christmas, which is this one here. And these are the designs that you get at the bottom. So whilst you just have one sheet of kind of plastic in here, which has the templates on it, these are all down here, all of those different designs that you can come up with. They're the ones we've come up with, but obviously you can make all sorts of different things. And if you're getting all of these, you can mix and match them anyway. So it's definitely worth doing. Now that you've got a Christmas sack there, you can see that little the Christmas tree skirt we've got on here. The next one is the reindeer. So this one, I mean, this is just so gorgeous. So we have this little cushion, but we've also used all those different shapes, all those different designs of that reindeer in that quilt. And you can see all of those different designs down here, the little reindeer being massively excited by all the presents, and who could blame him? And then here we've got the snowman. And you can see here, when I was talking about doing sort of Christmas stockings, they're simple to do, but they look so effective. And having all these templates here means it makes it really, really easy for you to do. Now you can cut the fabric out of, you can cut felt, or you can cut cotton. You can use all sorts of different things. You can use some of the fabrics we've got on the show today, all those Christmassy fabrics, or you can use your plain ones. And because some of the sort of designs in here are quite small, it means that you can use up all those little scraps of fabric. Now the one I'm going to do now is this one, which is the, no, actually I'm not. I'm going to do the driving home for Christmas one, this one, the one with the cars. I'm going to do this one first of all. So I'll show you exactly what you'll get inside your pack of goodies. So when you open them up, you'll see, you'll get your little, these are your little templates that you're going to be using with your, what's the word I'm looking for? Your heat erasable pens. That's the word I was looking for. So these are the perfect thing to be using on these, because you're going to be able to mark onto your fabric through these little gaps here. So similar to the ones we've had before, we've had a few templates for very large bags. But we've also had these templates when we were doing the teddy bears and all their clothing as well. And it works on the same principle. And we have detailed down here exactly what everything is. So we've tried to make it really, really simple for you to know the bits and pieces that you need to cut out. And then we've given you a sheet here which just gives you rough instructions about how to put it together. But really it's up to you how you want to build your scene, and also some ideas of designs that we're going to be putting here. Now finishing and gluing these pieces of fabric onto your main piece are the thing that you'll need to have a think about. So there's various options you can do. So you can use something called Bondaweb. Have you ever used Bondaweb, Debbie?
I've heard of it.
Okay.
Is it like where you can put it on and it sticks it instead of you having to sew?
Yes.
Yes.
So quite often you can get Bondaweb in like a strip, which is ideal if you need to do like a quick fix to fix a pair of trousers where the hems come down. And it's basically like a sheet of glue with a piece of paper over the top. So if you're going to be using something like that, that's really good, because it stops your cotton from fraying, and it makes it nice and easy. The only caveat I would put on that is when you're using very tiny pieces, and if you look at some of these little these designs here, where you've got this backlight here, that's quite a small piece and it can be a little bit fiddly, but actually using Bondaweb is really, really good. The other alternative is using some of our sprays. So we do have adhesive sprays that you can use. We have the stick and spray, which is a repositional adhesive, and we have the permanent adhesive, the stick and stay. This one I use loads. I always used to use Bondaweb for everything I wanted to stick together, but I don't anymore. I just use this because it's a lot easier. But obviously you've got some tiny little pieces you're going to need to spray. So if you're going to be using those sort of tiny pieces, if you just hold those tiny pieces with a some tweezers that'll allow you to spray everything, and obviously spray everything in a well-ventilated room. So there's lots of alternatives. Yes, question.
Yes, question.
At the
I'm
back
just
of
going
the
to put my
class.
hand up because I don't want to interrupt. I'm going to ask questions that I don't know that hopefully
Yes.
someone else won't know. So you have to iron the glue one.
Yeah, the permanent one, to make it permanent, yes.
Right.
You do need to
So it's
iron it.
the same like the Bonder web.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
but just in a spray version. And for, you know, it does make it a little bit easier. You don't have to peel off the backing because you normally have a piece of almost like a greaseproof paper that you have on the back.
Oh, wow.
So it is quite useful. But there's lots of, if you wanted to, that would be great if you weren't going to sew at all. You weren't going to do any sewing.
That's me.
Yeah, that would be great. But what you do find with cotton fabric, as we'll see later on, sometimes you get a bit of fraying around the edges. And when you use Bonder web, because that glue adheres to the whole part of the fabric, that stops any fraying around the edges.
Right.
So it depends how you want to finish things off. But in actual fact, sometimes a little bit of fraying around the edges looks quite nice. And there's different ways of stitching around the edge of the fabric to finish it off. So if on this one we have a look, this is free motion machine embroidery. If you can see closely, these are almost sort of wiggly lines. They're almost like sketching lines that have been done with a sewing machine. And they're a way of stitching everything. And I really like that look of it. I think it's a really pretty way of sewing things.
I love that. That's almost like where we do our own lines with pen,
Yes.
isn't it, in paper crafting? But you can do that in stitch lines. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
It looks really effective.
And it's
beautiful.
and it's forgiving.
Yes,
it's forgiving
of
because
course.
you go over it multiple times, and that's what makes it look quite nice. I mean, when you've got the lettering up here, you're not following the exact line all the way through, and that doesn't matter. That's what that gives you the beauty of it. But that is one way of doing it. Another way of finishing off would be to use satin stitch on your sewing machine. So that's the kind of one, if you'd bought a top that had an applique shape on it from a supermarket or a high street shop, often they'd have that very sort of smooth stitching that goes around the edge. That would be a way of finishing it off. Or you can just use, you can hand stitch it, you can do blanket stitch, or you're just going to do a running stitch, which is what I'm going to do today, just because it's a little bit quicker. So lots of alternatives. And those kinds of bits of information are available on this particular sheet. So we're going to get started.
I love that you've got all full instructions in there. So
Yeah.
it really is sort of foolproof, isn't it? That you've got all those written instructions.
You hope so. You
yeah.
hope so.
Yeah,
I
you'd
mean,
hope so.
nothing's foolproof. I mean, as you saw earlier today, I went through 3 sewing machines this morning trying to get one that I was happy with, because sometimes those things don't actually work. But yeah, I mean, I think with sewing, I think with crafting, sometimes you get happy accidents, don't you?
Yes.
Things happen, and they're meant to happen for a particular reason.
Absolutely. I love this car.
It's so cute.
That's an all year round thing, isn't
Yeah.
it? Can you imagine cutting them out of felt and having like fuzzy felt pieces that little boys can use on their pictures? I love it. It's beautiful.
Yep. So what we're going to do is we're just going to use these little spaces in between your, your shapes.
Another question.
Yep.
Do you need a specific pen that you draw
I'm
onto?
using a heat erasable pen. So we sell these in a pack of 3.
I've never even heard of that. What are they? Heat erasable?
Heat erasable pens. So that's what they are. So these are, you can use them on paper, and then you just rub them with a little end. But what we're going to do is we're going to use them for this, and then when I use my iron over them, the marks will disappear.
Wow.
So this is what we
They're
use.
clever. I've never seen them before.
Every day's a school day, Debbie. Every day.
Wow, the things you have. I suppose it's a bit like paper crafting. If you're not into paper crafting, you wouldn't know all the different tools that we have out there. That fascinates me that you've actually got heat erasable pens.
Yep.
I've never even heard of that. How are they?
Heat
I just
erasable
want
pens.
them.
They're really handy. I use them particularly when I'm doing embroidery, because you don't want any marks to be sort of seen on your embroidery after you've sort of marked everything out. So you can see I've just done a rough outline here. I'm just going to quickly cut that out. So you could use, if you're good with your rotary cutter, you could use your rotary cutter for this, but I'm just going to use a pair of scissors for the moment. So I'm going to cut around the outside of this shape here, and I'm also going to cut out the little windows that we've got on the car as well. We did have a message that came through on Facebook earlier this morning, and somebody was asking whether we could use the Festive Friends appliques, which is something that we had a couple of weeks ago. They're those little sort of star applique characters that we had, whether the faces would fit inside the windows of the car. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a whirl, because I've got some already cut out, and I'll see if I can fit them in. I think they're a little bit big.
We've got them on the show today as well, so if you did want them, we will show you them in just a little while after Becky's demo, so you can see what she's talking about. But they're amazing as well, so it would be amazing if you could put them into the windows of the car.
So I'm just cutting those little windows out like that. So I'm just snipping in the middle with my scissors, and then we're going to cut around here. So these are the scissors that Debbie uses for cutting bacon.
I was
just
watching
the show yesterday.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you're using our purple scissors.
Yeah.
Amazing. And look how cleanly they're going through the material.
Yeah. And I have to say, I have been using these for paper craft as well. So I know, we were saying yesterday on the show about using scissors, and Leanne had said you can use our scissors for paper and you can use them for fabric as well. You don't need to keep separate ones, because anyone who sews knows, it's sacrilege to keep your scissors for your sewing have to be kept separate because they're so precious. And in fact, my ones that I have at home, they have a separate ribbon on them, so I can't tell, I can tell which ones are which. But we were saying actually you can use them for all sorts of other things. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to iron this. I've just written I haven't written a few words. I've just scribbled a few things here, scribbles here.
Doodling, we're calling
because
it
I wanted you
doodling.
to see how they disappear when I use my iron. So they will just go like that.
Oh my goodness, that's magic.
So what I would say is, whilst you can use these for writing, don't write a cheque and then pop it on the radiator, because that's what my mum did, and she thought she'd gone mad because obviously the heat from the radiator had made the cheque become invisible
They are
ink.
magic. They're amazing. Yeah. I love them. I mean, how cool would it be to have a piece of material cut in these shapes, give your kids those pens, let them write all over it, and then tell them, right, I'm going to erase all that, and you can write on them again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's magic. I love them.
Who was that that used to say that's magic? It was Paul Daniels, wasn't it?
Paul Daniels. That's magic.
That's magic. Right, so I'm going to start building my scene now. I will spray these down. Now what I've done, I've just got a square of white cotton here, and then I've already cut out this piece. So this is my background. So if I look here, I'm effectively going to do something like this, a little bit like this. So I've got a kind of background, I've got a sort of snowy background, I've got a sort of hills, but I'm actually just using this as almost like a road that I've got here. Then I'm going to get my car. So this is the car I cut out earlier on, and I've stuck those little pieces of the bumper together. So I'm just following this kind of plan that we've given you here. So I'm going to put everything in the right place first of all, and then afterwards I will make sure I've got everything in the right place before I stick it down. So I'm just putting these parts of the car here. I might just lift that bit up there. So it's just a question of building your car up. So I've got my wheels that go underneath, and I've cut all these pieces of fabric out in exactly the same way. So I've just followed those templates to create those designs. And it's quite, it's quite therapeutic, this little bit.
Oh, it's good fun.
Bit of gluing,
it's really good fun.
It's sticking. It's like a puzzle. And I like that idea you're saying about fuzzy felts, because I said that when we were doing the festive animals. You could cut all those festive shapes out, or the festive animals out, and make them into fuzzy felts. But yeah, there's nothing to stop you from doing exactly the same here with these kind of designs.
And it makes it such a beautiful gift, doesn't it?
It
to be able
does.
to cut all these out. I loved fuzzy felt when I was
Me too.
little. Absolutely loved it.
I thought it was great.
I love the shape of that tree. It really has been made to fit on the car, hasn't it? It's got that almost bend on it.
But then you can definitely use these trees. You could do another design with all these different trees, cut them down perhaps, make some slightly smaller ones. You could use different designs using those. There's all sorts of things you could do with those.
They've got quite a Scandinavian feel to them, haven't they? I love them.
And a lot of that fabric, the particular fabric, the Christmas one we've got with the little the hearts on it, the kind of greeny one, that to me is very Scandinavian as well. So I'm going to put that.
I love you've done that car out of the cookies. Who doesn't want a cookie car?
There we go. So it's going to look something like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick down a few bits of it in the right place at the moment. And what I would generally do after that is I would then want to sort of stitch around all of these to finish them off. But we're not going to have a chance to do the whole thing in one go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray everything, stick it all down, and then I'll show you how to make an actual cushion cover off the back of that. So now I know where I want to put everything. I'm just going to lift these bits up, and then I'm going to start giving everything a bit of a spray, and then we can put everything in the right place.
Lovely, nice and easy. So Eve B is saying her weekend plans are buying patio furniture and trying out tons of stuff that she got from the CC clearance sale. We like that. We've got Lynn Harvey in with us. Stacey's in saying hello, crafty friends from Washington. Lynn is saying that Becky's projects are amazing and she loves the Christmas tree skirt. I agree, that skirt is incredible, isn't it? Can you imagine doing all your handmade decorations like that? I did read somewhere else that someone was saying they'd be great as Christmas tree decorations as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Which would be amazing. Kerry is saying she's trying to wake up. This is a beautiful way to do it, watching CTV with friends. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Kerry. But if you're wanting to know anything this morning, get your questions in. Even if we don't get a chance to read them out this morning, we will ask Becky this afternoon when she does her soft projects then. So it's going to be an amazing show, amazing day of shows today. And just in case you're wondering why we're not about this evening, we do have the HSN preview tonight. So if you are our US friends, make sure you tune in for that and see what's going to be coming to HSN next week. Because believe me, there's a lot of excitement about what's coming next week, which is amazing. This is looking lovely, Becky. So the spray, how much are you spraying these?
I am spraying these, and I'm just spraying them to one side. I'm just giving it a bit of a coating. I've also given my fingers a bit of a coating, but it doesn't matter because I can just wash that off afterwards.
So sort of how much distance? Is it like a bit like hairspray where you spray, you sort of leave that gap and...
Yeah, you leave a gap of about, difficult to tell. I think it even says on here, like 20 seconds, 20 centimetres rather.
And do you have to leave it to go a bit tacky, or is it sticky straight away?
No, it isn't sticky at all. It's only when, it's effectively sort of dry glue that you're spraying on there. So it looks a little bit like, you can see a little bit on my hand, it looks a little bit like foam, and that's just going to wash off. But it's as you heat it up with the iron, that's when the sort of glue effectively melts and you get the adhesion. And it's exactly the same sort of format as you would do if you were using any other kind of adhesive. So if you were using a Bonder web or something similar to that, it would work in exactly the same way.
So another question.
Yeah.
Would you put this on and spray it all down and then stitch around it?
Yes.
Right.
So that's what, now, what I probably would do is I'd probably do this piece first and then stitch around that. Then I'd probably put the car and stitch over. I'd probably do it in sections, but I'm not going to be doing any stitching today because there's not enough time to show you. What I will do is a little bit of stitching on one of the other demonstrations later on in softer side, so you can see how you would do it. But yeah, at the moment, I'm just going to sort of effectively glue everything on. So if you're not a sewer, but you still wanted to make this, this would be how you would do it. This is exactly how you do it. You would just glue everything on and then you would sort of finish it off.
So you don't have to stitch it once you've glued it,
No.
but stitching obviously gives it that effect of that you've sewn it down.
And I think it finishes it off nicely. That was what I would want to do. I would want to give it a sew around. But if you didn't want to do that, you know, if it was going to be something, perhaps you're going to be doing a little gift bag that you just wanted to have you know, this kind of design on, and it's not going to be washed and it's not going to get any sort of hard use, as it were, then you don't need to sew on it. But if you're going to use something like a cushion cover, that's going to be lent on, it's going to be chewed by the dog, it's going to be thrown on the floor.
Is that in your experience,
all those sorts
Becky?
of things, yeah. So you then want to sort of stitch around, and it probably would want, you know, you want it to go in the washing machine at some point as well.
So it is washable?
Yeah, so when you use this adhesive, if it's something you're going to wash, like for example, you know, you're probably never going to wash a stocking. You know, that's probably never going to happen, but you want it to last, so you would want to sew on that. But for something like a cushion, if I was actually making this as a proper cushion, I would be inclined, even if I'm not a sewer, I would just do a very, very simple stitch. In fact, let's just do a little bit of a stitch around here. So I'm just going to do a running stitch on the sewing machine so you can see how I would do it. So let's just do that, and you can see how that would work. So that's holding everything in place, but not completely exactly where I, you know, holding everything down. If I was doing this at home, I'd take a little bit more time just to sort of make sure everything was totally adhered down. I'm just going to stitch around here.
Yeah, that's the trouble when we're on air. There's just not enough time, is there, where you would really take your time with these and have them all stuck. Your nails match your colours on that you've used today.
They do, don't they? Apart from the little bits where I'm a little bit, I just need to wipe my hands. I'll do that in a minute. But it's, you know, it's not going to hurt you having this on your hands. It's not even going to hurt my nail varnish.
Oh yeah, I can see it now. Now you say it does look like snow, doesn't it?
Yeah. It does look very much like snow. So going around these little curves is always a little bit of a challenge. You just need to sew very, very slowly, make sure your needle stays down in your fabric. So if you don't have a sewing machine, if you've never sewed before, you can have the needle up or the needle down. So when you stop to sew, your needle can remain in your fabric when you stop, or it can lift up. So normally sewing machines have a little button for you to do that. Or if they don't have a little button, you can then turn this little wheel over here. But mine's got a little button. So if I do that, my needle goes up. And if I do that, my needle stays down. So I want my needle to stay down so I can move my fabric around.
That's clever. You know what? I've always wondered how people go back into the same place. But that's why, because your needle just stays there.
Yeah, that's how you do it. So what I'm only doing is very, very quickly, and I'd obviously take a bit more time doing this, but in actual fact, I think free motion machine embroidery for this is a really, really good way of doing this, and often do that in a different colour. So just pull that out. So you can see very briefly how I've sort of stitched around here, and that will hold that together while we're putting everything. So I've just sort of done a quick stitch around here. But for the moment, I'm just going to give this a little iron, a little press with this other piece of cotton, and just make sure everything's adhered down before I start making the rest of the cushion cover.
Shall we let you iron that then, Becky?
Yep.
And I'm just going to read out a few more comments. So Annie is saying that looks super cute. Vicky is saying that Becky's project looks fun, and a good early morning from Utah as well. So good morning, Vicky. And Eleanor is saying the little house is super cute. I think all the elements on there you're going to find absolutely fun to use. They're really nice sizes, aren't they? Really good
they are.
Size to
They're not
to
small.
go around.
You know, sometimes you look at these things and you think, oh, that's quite nice, but it's going to make something quite tiny. These are very usable. And actually, because they're big, they're a little bit easier to manipulate. They're a bit easier to sew. So definitely, you know, we were saying, are these going to be for a beginner? Yes, you know, you can definitely use these as a beginner. Or, you know, anybody can use these. They're nice and simple to put together. So I've done that sort of main part of my cushion cover, and then I'm just going to be putting some of the star bunting around the outside. So I'm just going to do these little sections all the way around here to finish off that cushion cover.
Oh, I love that.
So I'm going to put my right sides together, and then I'm going to just pin them. I've not cut them super accurately, I just cut them roughly, because I'm going to trim everything off after I've finished making the cushion cover. So a few pins in here.
How long have you been sewing for, Becky?
Always.
Oh,
I
always?
can't. Yeah, well, my mum's a costume designer. Well, my mum was a costume designer.
Which is very exciting.
Yeah, so she's always sewn, and in actual fact, she's very good, which meant that I didn't really sew a huge amount because she was so good. So it was a lot easier for me to say to my mum, "Can you just make me that?" And my mum would just go, "Yeah, that's fine."
Did she just used to make your clothes?
Yeah, well, I used to, not all my clothes, but sometimes I'd find something in like a magazine, or I was a big Prince fan. I still am a big Prince fan.
Yes, me too.
And I was watching, and I'd bought, God, I can't even remember, like one of the music magazines, and he was on his tour in the US, and I got my mum to copy his outfit. And then he came to the UK, and I had a replica of his outfit that he came out wearing at the start of that concert.
Oh,
and it was
wow.
brilliant. It was like a purple, it was, well, as you'd expect with Prince, it was a purple suit with yellow lapels, yellow and purple striped lapels, and really high-waisted trousers with little yellow buttons all the way down the side. It was fantastic, really
That's
clever.
amazing.
And then, you know, so when I was at art college, I just used to say to Mum, "Well, I'd like a, you know, can you make me a 16th century frock coat or something like that?" And my mum would just do it. She'd just make it for me.
Wow. How amazing is that to have such a talented mum that could do those things?
I know.
Mine would be, "Mum, can you stitch up my hole in my jeans? Can you sew a button on?"
Well, you see, when my daughter went to university, she took her sewing machine with her, which I thought was hilarious, because everyone else is taking pot noodles, and my daughter's like, "No, I'm taking my sewing machine." And she had a little kind of business going on, just making, sorry, I'm just trying to thread this needle, which is always proving to be a bit of a problem. She had a little thriving business, putting buttons on people's clothes for them, sewing up their, you know, the hems of their jeans, all that sort of thing that people weren't able to do. She was quite amazed by the fact that people can't do that. Jamie was saying her mum used to iron patches over the holes on his jeans. And in actual fact, I've got Joe's got a top in the green room, which he's asked me to repair for him. It's got a rip in it. Which I said, well, I can't really repair that rip. There's not enough fabric for me to sort of pull it through. But I've got a great patch, and I'm going to put the patch on the top instead. And that's going to be the
brilliant.
alternative.
There's always a way, isn't there?
Exactly. Sorry about that. Right, always difficult when your machine comes unthreaded. There you go. Right,
In fact, while you're doing that, Becky, we've just had a question from Suzanne, who's saying, "Do you have any tips on free motion?" She loves it, but she said she struggles with her machine and getting nesting on either side, tension, etc.
It is hard. It's not. I don't. It's not. Well, no, actually, it's not a hard thing to do. It's tricky.
Technique.
You've really got to learn. You've really got to get to know your machine. And I think one of the hardest things I found is getting that movement. You want a nice smooth movement when you're moving through. There's somebody that I know that does a lot of free motion machine embroidery, and she says to me she always gives her shoulders a bit of a warm up beforehand.
Oh, okay.
So sort of spinning her shoulders and that kind of thing.
Well, there you go. That's a tip.
Yeah, that helps. I mean, I've done it before. You know, sometimes the tension's not quite right. You know, making sure you've always got the same thread top and bottom is always obviously a key thing anyway. It isn't. It's just practice, it really is, but it's so rewarding once you start making something and it comes out and it looks really good. I would say I don't tend to use black thread. So on the sample that we've got with that Santa's Grotto, you can see that we've used black thread for doing that design, which is just here. Now, I would use, you can see here, I would use a dark grey because it's a little bit more forgiving. The black is very obvious when you not go wrong, but when you've sort of missed something or haven't got that smooth amount of tension. I would use a darkish grey because it tends to be more forgiving. The hardest things are going around, doing these are the hardest bits because there's quite a lot of movement in them. So I would practice on, if you're practicing on the larger sort of a house here, you've got sort of nice big movements, like big curves here, and then I would do the lettering at a later date when you've got to grips with it.
Oh,
but it's just a case of getting used to doing it. So what I've done here is I've just stitched, I keep forgetting that one's not got a clip there. I've just stitched around that outside here. And then that's going to form, oh, that's not, oh, what's happened there? Oh, give me 2 minutes, just gonna have to sew that again. That hasn't stitched properly.
Hasn't stitched
Don't know
across
what's
that
happened there.
little bit. Only a small little bit.
Don't know what's gone on there.
Live TV,
I
hey
know,
Becky.
always. You couldn't make it up, could you?
Well, hopefully, Suzanne, that's helped you, or Suzanne Dawn, hopefully that's helped you a little bit. Start off bigger before you get to your smaller free motion. I wouldn't have even known what free motion was, so I've learned something today. So free motion is obviously no pattern, you just literally go round the shape.
No, actually,
Oh,
free
okay, it's
motion.
not?
No, free motion is using. Sorry, just give me 2
Yeah,
seconds.
no, you're absolutely
I'm really
fine.
sorry. I'm having a bit of a problem with this machine at the moment. I might have to.
Right, while Becky's just sorting that out, I just want to bring you back to our builder block. Bring you back, we haven't showed you there. I'm really fascinated with this, so this afternoon I'm going to ask Becky all about it. From what I can make out from the builder block, it has all these different shapes, and I'm assuming by the picture on here that you can embroider or sew all these different shapes, making lots of different things. Oh my goodness, I've just looked. So Jamie has literally just said about the price. There is 75% saving on this, which is incredible. £15 today or $22. That's amazing. If you were in the platinum price, I mean, look, can we just like look at that, get that right, go this way, there we go, £12. £12. You get loads in here, loads of different dies, full instructions. If I turn that round, that's giving you a measure of all the different things that you could be creating, all the different shapes with those dies in the box. That's insane. £15, $22, which is absolutely amazing. How are we doing, Becky? You're okay to come back to you there?
Hold on 1 second.
Right, we're going to show you. Actually, yes, because we've been asked about these. And Becky was asked a question about them, so she will answer. We might not get a chance to answer in this show, but we will answer it in our 2 p.m. show. So come back there, and Becky will answer all your questions. But what we've got here, these are so much fun. So these are die cuts. I'm going to turn them around so you can see exactly all these different dies to build up your character, which I absolutely love. And I know as a paper crafter, this would be amazing to use to do for your mixed media and cut through all those different projects, because these are mixed media dies, which are amazing. So that's our first one. We've then got our festive animals. So all these different ones that you can build up. Again, if I turn that round, I mean, how super cute are these? I love them. So many different things you're going to be able to do with those. And then we've got our nativity characters. That's a great one to have. A really good one if you are if your child's in the school nativity and you're in any of these sort of characters. You can make them little badges, couldn't you, to go into school, or put them on their little hats and things. Absolutely love that one. Today's prize, $61.99. You are getting 57 elements in there, so lots of different dies. You are going to be crafting with those to your heart's content, which is absolutely amazing. Now, just before we get back to Becky, I do want to show you one more thing that we've got today, amongst lots of other pieces. So this one is your set one, and it's your multifunctional dies. These are great. So these are going to be able to create 3 different designs of sort of wallets and purses of these. Absolutely gorgeous designs. Love the fact that you've got that variety of what you can use them for. And I take it, Becky, with these full instructions are inside. There is, I'm looking on the back.
You've got instructions inside them, but actually when you go to our website, you get more detailed instructions for you to download in different languages, and there's also videos as well.
Oh, amazing.
So step-by-step videos as to how to put them together.
That's absolutely brilliant. And again, I've just seen the price of these, $39.97 or $54.91, which is incredible. Our set 2 is going to do our little bags, so you can see all those 3 different types of bags in there. You get 5 pieces to create with there, 3 in 1. So each one of these offers you a project. Absolutely absolutely incredible value. And then we've got our set free. Oh, I love this one. This is like your storage baskets and your planters. Imagine making a little plant pot like that. Absolutely incredible. So amazing deal there. $39.97, $31.98 if you're a platinum member. So absolutely amazing. Now we're going to head back because we've got these amazing stencils on the show today, templates. So we're going to head back to Becky, and she's going to show us a few samples as well because they are amazing. So grab them today because you're getting 4 elements in each of these, $23.97. So a great deal today. And remember, it's a brand new launch, isn't it, Becky?
Brand new launch, yeah.
Brand new. So let's see what we've got.
I will finish off the demo that I was doing there, but I think I need my glasses on while I'm actually using my sewing machine. I need to give this a bit of a fiddle around, so I will return to that later. Now, the question that we had on Facebook was whether these little, these sort of festive animals, these shapes that Debbie's just shown you, whether they will fit inside the car. I know it sounds a bit of a random one. They're a little bit too big. So if you see here on the camera, you can see a little reindeer is a little bit too big to fit inside this car. So you might be able to manipulate some of them. If you bought some of our, we have some dies, sort of Christmassy dies last year. They may fit because they're slightly smaller, but you can give that a try. So the main product that we've got on today, our sort of launch, are these fantastic applique stencils. So I've got a few more samples here. Now these Christmas oven gloves, aren't they gorgeous? They are so good. Now, these could be made from scratch, or you could have just bought some plain oven gloves from a high street store and then just adapted them, just finished them off. And I think they're so effective. I do have a big thing about having everything Christmassy at Christmas. I do have Christmas crockery, I have Christmas glasses, I have Christmas spoons, and I even have Christmas toilet roll in the bathroom, because I like everything to be festive. You can get it from supermarkets, like Festive, yeah, like with holly on it. The whole lot, yeah, no, Christmas for me starts mid-October. That's when Michael Bublé comes out, and I start just moving 1 or 2 little decorations here before Halloween. So you can see here, this little cushion cover, this is the kind of thing that I was going to be putting together, this kind of small cushion cover, but really great, so you can have these sort of all dotted around your house, and great for sort of gifts as well. And then we've got this fantastic quilt with this is really lovely, this kind of Santa's Grotto kind of gingerbread house, which I think looks absolutely lovely, with a little bit of stripy fabric for those candy canes. And then finally, using the design with the car, this is like the coming home for Christmas little design, so it goes sort of both ways. So you've got different, as a kind of table runner. Really, really lovely. And I will promise I will finish off that demo so you can see exactly what that cushion cover is going to be looking like. But I've got loads of other things to show you later on today, and I'll get the sewing machine threaded up and put my glasses back on.
Yeah, do you know what, Becky? I don't know how we fit it all in. I think we need a whole day to do on soft crafts because it does take that little bit more time, and we can't wait to see Becky back at 2 o'clock to see exactly what she can do. But for now, we're going to have a little break. We're going to let you look at our Club Inspire, and we'll be back with the lovely Jamie after the break.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash. Put away your tape measure and fabric scissors. The Threader's fabric cutter offers accuracy and precision with every cut. This handy tool slices through fabric in a guillotine style. Its ergonomic design features a comfortable and protective handle, so it's safe and easy to use whether you're right or left-handed. Its 45mm rotary blade will cut up to 6 layers of fabric at a time, so your sewing, quilting, and upholstery project times are cut down to size. It's equipped with a measuring guide in metric and imperial for a perfectly accurate cut every time. The built-in grid ruler has 30-degree, 45-degree, and 60-degree angle lines, so you can cut fabric on any angle, including the bias. Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash. Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash. Make light work of intricate and delicate die-cutting designs with the Pokey tool from Crafter's Companion. An absolute essential part of any paper crafter's kit, its precise tip has been designed to release the tiniest pieces to reveal your finished results with absolute precision. And to make sure your finished project is perfect, each Pokey tool has a rubber tip protector, so there's no risk of damaging your die-cutting design or yourself. The Crafter's Companion Pokey tool is such an essential craft item, we've included 2 in each set. Quick Buy, get yours now.
Get yours now. I do love a quick buy. So if you want to stock up on all those essentials, then grab them and pop them in your basket. Right, we've got a really excited hour now. I'm really excited because we've got Jamie in the building. Whoop, whoop. Everyone loves Jamie because he, and I'm not just saying this, Jamie, because you're in the building. You do the most amazing creative things that I've ever seen anyone do. Genuinely, I just think, and people, I know people will agree with me. So welcome, Jamie.
Hello.
We love having you here. And also these dies. I mean, quite incredible.
I'm glad you like them.
Yeah, I absolutely love them. We're going to start with our first one. Now, these are the tea bag folding. Now, if you've ever seen tea bag folding, it's quite almost like an old craft that we used to start off with. I remember, Jamie, and you'll probably remember the same as well. Mind you, I'm a lot older than you, so, but we used to get sheets and have to cut out the sheets.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I was there for the sheets.
and I used to love it, but it used to just cutting them out and having to do all that. I love that you took all that hard work out of them for us.
We've certainly tried.
Absolutely. So our first one we're looking at is the jewelled doily. So if I show you these are all Christmas inspired, aren't they?
They are, but don't necessarily be led by that. Like this one, there's nothing particularly Christmas about it. If you use the paper pads that we have for you today and you use accentuating items to it, you'll certainly make it look very Christmassy. But with this design in particular, you could use it all year round if you want to.
What I love about it is looking at the actual die, I'd be looking at that thinking, how is that possible? But it really is simple, isn't it?
They're very intricate. And when it comes to the folding, I don't know if we can see it actually on the sample, but when the die cuts, it also educates the paper by scoring the lines for you.
At that.
So when it comes to actually folding them, it's very easy. There's also instructions on the inside of the packet, which I'll show you shortly. We've also got videos on YouTube too. So if you do, whether you like to learn by watching it or reading it, we've got backup for you if you need it.
Oh my goodness, look at that sample.
Cool is this? I believe this one's done by Sheila from our design team. Several of these are done by our design team.
Diane,
that's the one, sorry.
That is, I mean, that is so up my street. I absolutely love that. Just being able to cut them out and look at that. I mean, it's so beautiful. And if you're wondering how to get this effect with all the stamps, stay tuned because we have the most amazing stamps coming up for you, which is quite incredible. But these dies are beautiful and I literally cannot wait for Jamie to show those. So that's the first one in the collection. We've then got our next one, which is our Starburst. I believe you're going to do the demo with this one, aren't you, Jamie?
We are, yeah. This will be our very first demo. Again, it's a very lacy design, but I promise you they all work in the same way, so it doesn't matter how intricate they are to look at, they all fold like a dream.
Yeah, they're so pretty and they really do offer something different, don't they? I love that. I mean, that's beautiful. And actually, a winter wedding, that would be really lovely.
I was thinking like a newborn baby card when I made this one, but I don't know why, and it doesn't have to be.
No, you're right. I think it has got that element about it as well. I love the fact that you do your cards all different sizes. I love having white space. That's one of my things. I like this look. I think it looks beautiful. But then saying that, you then bring another one in and think, well, look at that one. Just as beautiful, gorgeous designs. I love this one. Look at the dimension. I'm going to bring that one. Oh, not that one. This one. Oh, I thought it was on the card. Look at that.
So this is one of our 3D baubles, and I believe this one was made by Sheila. I'm going to do it again. It's either Sheila or Diane. I'm so bad with names.
You've got an amazing design team and create. Now look at that. Now that's really thinking outside the box, isn't it? Using those layers, making a Christmas tree. I love that. Very nice. So that's just Sheila one as well. And then one more for that collection. So quickly show that one. Absolutely stunning. So beautiful designs. Now let's pop them to the side. We've got so many samples. It's the one thing I do love showing you all is the samples. This one is your daisy doily, which is a great one actually, because this one really isn't very Christmassy, is it? But it can be if you want it to be.
Exactly. It's all down to the colours and how you treat them, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, these are pretty, Jamie. Very nice. Look at the, oh, I like this one.
This one's a bit of a sneaky peek actually, because it's showing you the lovely doily daisy used in the background for the 2 layers, not even actually folded, just more like a tray to put your design in. Then in the middle, in that lovely marigold yellow, that's actually the minis that we'll be looking at shortly, and the original dies all stacked together.
Amazing.
So again, you can layer them up if you want to.
So pretty. I mean, you can really imagine how many sort of designs you're going to be making. I mean, look how these stamps, I mean, we're going to show you these stamps, but how they coordinate so beautiful. I mean, that is stunning. Absolutely stunning. The colours in there are beautiful. More decorations here as well. Look at that. I love these. I mean, these are the sorts of things that you can be doing with your children, your grandchildren. They're going to absolutely love being creative, especially when you can create different types of embellishments. I love this little easel card, different shape there, creating. And I love this one because you've got that sort of circular motion, but then done in almost that diamond shape, and it just works, doesn't it?
So pretty, isn't it?
Look at that one. That reminds me of a lollipop. When we go to the beach, you get those massive lollipops. So absolutely beautiful. And Jamie's just reminded me, you can get all of these individual, and that's Jamie, our producer, just in case I don't want to confuse anybody. We've got 2 Jamies in the building, so already confusing myself. Folk cards. This is a nice one. Beautiful design, little bit different. That's really lovely.
I want them all to be unique in their own right.
And you've absolutely nailed that, Jamie. They are beautiful.
This one, I felt we could be using this again for our weddings, our anniversaries, Valentine's Day, as well as Christmas if you want to.
Absolutely. I love how they are all so different. Sometimes when we have a range, we think, well, why do we need 2 of them? Why do we need 3 of them? Why do we need 4 of them? But actually, every single one of these offers something really different,
That's
doesn't
what I
it?
wanted for you to be able to have. And also, don't be fooled. I know I make very large cards. Hopefully you're seeing a variation here, because you can of course use some smaller cards. And also I like them to be quite 3D. You don't have to. So if you're sat at home thinking, oh, that's going to cost a fortune to post, there are flat folds as such that you can do with them.
Of course.
So if you are somebody who's going to actually be posting your cards, don't be put off by that. There are ways that we can go around that. So many different folds we can do with them.
Yeah, absolutely, which is amazing. Now, just before we head over to Jamie for his first demo, I do want to bring in these mini ones, and I have to show you this before we actually show you what they are, because I just love this. Look at this. I mean, there's something very quirky about this little snowman. He's just beautiful. But actually, those folds, to be able to make these little decorations, do you know what, Jamie? I just love him. I love him to bits. I tell you what, let's have a name for this little guy by the end of the day. So if you want to name him, name our little snowman. But that's incredible how you can use, and it shows you all these miniature tea bagging folds. So this one comes, do I believe, from the mini shape.
That one's actually the ovals.
Oh, it's the oval. So let's show the oval one.
So by Christine as well. That's one of our design team members.
Right. Okay. So we've got our oval designs there. So you've got this one. So these are our mini dies, and I'll show you the actual shape of the oval. So being able to be creative with these is incredible. What I love about these, Jamie, as well, I was telling you earlier, our Liam in the building is very good with construction, and he makes things like this himself. Okay. He will love that we've got these dies that he can actually make all all these different things with. But they're great because you can just create different pieces with them. Those Christmas trees in the background are amazing, and then doing a totally different shape of the Christmas tree. They're very clever, aren't
One
they?
of the nice bits with the oval is all of the other shapes are symmetrical. So when
Right,
you
of
fold
course.
them, they pretty much end up in
Yes,
one way.
yep.
With the oval, there's actually two ways we can take them. So in one form, you end up with the swish that you see there creating the trees that you're holding up.
Yep.
There is another fold we can do that I think looks very Art Deco.
Yep.
It also means that this is the only shape where when we fold it, you will see the reverse of the paper as well as the front. So if you
Wow.
wish to use double-sided papers or you wish to colour on the back of your paper, you can do.
I
So you
love
can get
that.
a little sneaky at that as well. So
That's
it's a really
amazing.
good one to get hold of.
Wow, yeah, absolutely. So go for that one. We've got that one. And then just quickly, the other one we've got is the mini shapes. So if I turn that around, you can see all those little mini shapes creating your little mini one. Look at that. I mean, very cute, absolutely, really cute, lots of different designs. Right, I've talked enough, I've shown you plenty, but you want to see exactly what Jamie's got in store for us. So Jamie, what you got for us?
Okay, this is the one that we're going to do. It's very simple, and I really wanted to talk to you a little bit about how we're going to do the folding and the cutting from them, so that you've got an idea how they're going to work. And then we'll do a few more complicated things as the show goes on. But we're going to start off by actually cutting the panel that we need to make the rosette, and we're going to be using our Starburst die for this one. Now with our Starburst die, the same as all of them, you're hopefully going to see this very clearly. We have on here our delicate cut line around the edge, obviously. We have all our filigree cut pieces in the middle, and then we have this lovely cross point going through. Now these are the lines that are actually going to be scoring our paper, and this is the bit that means that our paper will be educated. So the minute it's cut through, we know where to fold it. You're not trying to struggle to line it up. It's going to go straight into them grooves, and it's going to make your folding very, very easy. So I'm going to bring in my Gemini for this. I'm going to plop our lovely die down. I'm then going to go ahead and I'm going to bring in some copier paper. Now whenever we're doing any form of folding, now this is basically, if you've not heard of teabag folding before, it's a type of origami. And when we're working with origami, we should be working between a 60 GSM and 160 GSM. So when we talk about papers, copier paper is 90 GSM, so it's the perfect middle weight. When we show you my paper pads a little later on, they're 120 GSM. So again, the perfect weight to be cut in. The copier paper I'm using is literally from here, we just buy it in the supermarket, to be honest with you, and you get like 500 sheets for a couple of pounds. So it's a very inexpensive way for you to actually be making up your rosettes. And if you spot behind me on the Christmas tree, all of the baubles on there, the white ones that have been folded, they've also been done out of copier paper. So it shows you how you can use this as quite a substantial item to build up more impressive pieces. So we'll take this out of our actual die, and let me just find a pokey tool, and we'll bring this out from inside our die here. Let's go for one of them holes there, and that will all come away for us. Now the stars, obviously you could use these too. They've been cut perfectly, and if you did want to cut out of card, I know I've just been talking to you about paper, the paper cut is important for when we come to fold it, because you don't want your actual panels to become too thick or your creases to be too hard to do. But the actual die itself will cut out of any normal materials as you would normally. It just wouldn't necessarily lend itself as much to the folding element. But if you wish to have these stars cut out of 300 GSM cardstock to use for your night sky scenes or your shaker cards, you can absolutely do that with a die as well and use them parts as a separate panel. So let's go ahead and do our folding, shall we? So hopefully with this you can see your score lines have been done on there. I'll try and get it so you can see it. There are a couple of lines going through as our diagonals and then our cross point. Now with a square, this one again lends itself to two different folds. So I'm going to show you the fold I'm working with, and then we'll show you a different fold as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold it in half, going straight across the middle, and we're going to use a bone folder to just burnish that crease in place. We're going to open this out, and we're going to twist it, and we're going to fold it in half again. So in short, we've folded it in half, and we've folded it in half the opposite direction. From here, how I like to remember to do this is if I look at it like a compass. So we have our north, east, south and west. And all we're going to do is take our north and our east and we're going to push them together. And at the same time, we're going to take our south and our west and we're going to push them together. And by doing so, that paper will fold into the middle of the shape and we will end up now down to quarter of the shape. So we started off obviously with our full shape, we're now down to what's the equivalent to 1/4 of it. Now when you do this, you will have two pieces at the top and you will have two pieces at the bottom. So we can bring this up and hold it in the air and you can see them two pieces. The basic fold and the easiest fold is to just take these two pieces and fold them into the centre. And again, using your bone folder, just burnish against them. Now I know I've gone through this very quickly, but as I mentioned at the beginning, all of your folds are shown on the inside of your packaging. So when we have a look in here, you will find this is where I've taken us to. So we've gone all the way through our basic fold steps to create our end panel. If you wish to do fold 2, 3 or 4, we just break off and go off over to these instructions and they will teach you different folds to do.
That's amazing. I love that, and picture instructions as well, which is
That's the only way I could do it.
Yes, no, I'm the same, Jamie. That's my first thing. I thought, wow, picture instructions. This is my booklet.
I know what I'm doing there. Just reading it, I would be there forever.
That's amazing. Just a quick one, Jamie. I just want to ask you because Christine is saying, good morning, Jamie. She said, are the theories and stamps all different from the last time you were here?
So the last time I bought Teabag Folding to you was the original collection. So the stamps for those are the everyday stamps. These are the new festive stamps. The actual dies that go with the stamps are the original dies. So we had those on the previous show. So you've already possibly bought the square, the circle, the octagon and the pointy petals. They are the same, but they coordinate with these new stamps. So what I wanted to do was, instead of making you buy complete brand new dies to double up, I wanted you to be able to have the dies you'd already got and have new stamps additions to go with them. So if you did already buy into the first collection, you've got your dies ready, you can just add on your stamps. And then obviously all of the new lacy designs are completely new. This is the first time we've bought those and the new stamps to you.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you. So hopefully that helped, Christine.
Okay, so now we have our panel. Actually, I'll show you the other fold as well, why I'm here. So if you remember, we went off and did our first sort of point by folding in half and folding in half through the middle. The other way in which we can do this, and I'll do this one a little bit quicker, is we can go diagonally with our folds instead. So again, we're going to burnish, and we're going to open, and we're going to burnish, just so you can see that you've got more variation, and all of your square designs will work in the same way. If we then do exactly the same again, if you wish to hold it as I did, and use your sort of north and east and post together, and your south and your west and post together, and then you will very quickly see that we actually have more of a triangle. Where this one's went to a square, by starting off as a diamond, we can have a triangle.
That's so clever.
So this will give you, and we'll fold these bits up into the middle, and that will give you a very different looking rosette all out of one die form.
Wow.
It also means if you wish to do a Christmas tree, this is quite a nice fold for the Christmas tree, because you can sort of notch them in together, and it's just a bit wider and pointed out than this one. Obviously, if you wanted a tall, thin Christmas tree, you could use it as that fold, but from the same die, you've got two different effects.
That same one would be nice as like a parasol top as well, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. To be honest, it's just trying to think of all the different ways
that you can use them,
in which you can take them and work with them. In one of the demos, they will make them into a butterfly as well.
Oh, I
and
love
we've got a Christmas tree. So yeah, we'll build a few different things with them.
Oh, fabulous. We can't wait for that.
All I've done here is I've brought in a self-adhesive square of card, and I'm going to bring in my first 4 pieces, and we're just going to work around sticking these down together, making sure that the pattern lines up at the top here. This piece of card needs to be quite small so we don't see it through the stars, but it really doesn't actually do a lot. It's just to hold it in place while we actually place the pieces together. When we add on the top layer, the structure will be more actually in the component than that panel. So we'll add on our 4th there. Now, you can leave this as just 4, and if you were going to make baubles, for instance, like the ones on the tree behind me, you might wish to leave it at this stage and stick another 4 on the reverse with a piece of ribbon to make your hanging element. Or if you wish to make it more 3D, you can bring in another 4 panels, and we can add glue to these, and we can slip them down in between them layers. So we're just going to post this one all the way down into the middle, and then we're going to twist, and we're going to post again. Also, don't forget, with your copier paper, we can also treat these with different products too. So especially at Cosmic Shimmer, we have lots of different airless misters that I'll be using today, but there are also different polishes and glitters and pixies and all different products that you could actually treat your papers with before you go ahead to actually build in them or cut in them, which will give you a completely different effect.
This is stunning. And very simple. You're right, Jamie. Really simple.
That's not complicated at all, is it, really?
And look at the effect you're getting.
And we have your panel ready built. So we'll place this off to one side, and I've got a very quick card to bring in and share with you. All I've done is I've taken an 8x8 card, again optional, you don't have to be this large if you don't want to be. I'm then going to take a layer of our paper. So in this one we've used the classic shades, and then this one is our classic Christmas papers. So they're both going to coordinate together perfectly shade-wise, and you've got design papers or plain ones. So we're going to alternate between the two. We're going to bring in our lovely snowflake design and layer that down flat. We're then going to go for another one from the shades packet, a slightly darker tone. And we're going to place that down in the middle. And then we're just going to bring in our rosette and add some glue onto the reverse of this and place that down into the centre of our card. And then I would finish off either with a button, some 3D accents, some glitter glue, some gems, whatever you wish to. I love actually using up all sort of the oddments that you've got in your drawers to make your centres. On the card I've finished here, I've used a button and a gem, and or the pearl, and the pearl actually covers the holes of the button, so it just tones in shade-wise.
It's absolutely stunning. What I also love about that, Jamie, is that you've got all tiny little stars that are stars that you can cut out and keep. Great for your shaker card elements or adding those extra accessories in them as well. So absolutely amazing. So if you want those today, you can get them for $62.99 or $110.99. Platinum price $50.39. That's extraordinary value today. Right, so we're going to next be looking at the stamps, which are another beautiful element that really tone in with these, don't they, Jamie? If I look at some of the samples here, you can sort of explain or show the boards of these actual stamp sets. I love these because actually they're quite freestanding stamps in their own right, aren't they? I mean, they're big. Look at the size of these. And turn it round, you can see this is your actual stamp, isn't it, on the inside. These are incredible. I love them.
And there's no reason why you actually have to fold them. And we're going to be using that one as a background panel on the next card that we do. That lovely square in the middle with all the intricate work in it, because again you can do that, you don't have to fold them if you don't wish to. And then the frame, you know, we all have toppers, don't we, from all the different brands, toppers of sheets. Then those frames are going to be perfect to put those in the middle of if you prefer, instead of actually doing your tea bag folding to go in the middle of them. So lots of uses for lots of reasons.
But I suppose if you do, these are the effects you can have. I'm going to sort of try and get the light on there. Look at that, heat embossed in silver. That is just stunning. I mean, to be able to do something like that would just be amazing. And it's simple. You've shown how simple they are to do. Look at this. That's like...
I love this one.
Oh my goodness.
I absolutely love this. I'm not going to return this one. I meant to send the samples that I didn't make back to the office at the end of the shows. This one might go missing. I think I'm going to keep it.
I wouldn't return that one either. That is absolutely stunning. Being able to do this design around the outside as well as all these bits inside, that is beautiful. One of the nicest cards I've seen. Absolutely gorgeous. So those ones today, this is the Winter Wonderland, that one. We've got another one for you. So these are all in different shapes, and they're all going to coordinate with those shapes that you get in the die cut shapes, and then with your new tea bag folding as well. But let's show these ones, which are the Swirly Christmas. This is a nice fun one, isn't it? Really fun design.
Hopefully, yeah. And again, the frames of this one is a very good all year round one. So again, if you've got the original dies and you'd like to put the octagon inside that one, you absolutely can do it. It doesn't have to just be to use for Christmas.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think that's very clever. I think you've really got something there with creating those outside edges. Look at that card. I mean, and as much as the actual tea bag folding is incredible, that frame around it really does make it pop, doesn't it?
Hopefully, yeah. I really wanted those to give sort of a focal to the middle, or sort of tie it all together as such.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. This one's very cute, and actually, doesn't it show you, I mean, we've got a really grown-up card there, and then we've got one that's just really a lot of fun. I like that swirly design a lot. I think it's something different. It's like your swirly different Christmas trees. More sort of contemporary design, but shows you can use it in a totally different way as well.
Absolutely. It's all down to your colours and your products you use them with.
Very nice. And we are still going. We've got 4 of these today. Let's bring in the next one. So we've got the circle. So I always say, and it is one of my things, I think there's something very appeasing to the eye with a circle. I think it's a very happy shape. It's the shape of the sun. I think a circle is that just really nice because there's no edges on it. I think I quite like a circle.
Actually, yes, I can see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So for me, the circle, I think sometimes just represents me. I like that sort of round shape, and not that I'm a round, well, I probably am a round shape.
Not at all, not at all.
I got a round head. But I love this one again, and what I love about this is the words around this die. I mean, that is the stamp. I like this, being able to have all this Merry Christmas around the whole stamp. A really big stamp today. Now remember, you're getting all 4 of these for $45.99 today, $63.99 or $36.79 if you are in the club. And again, use them just on parts of your cards here. I love that Jamie and his team really think outside the box. Look at that one. I mean, it looks like a vase, that one. It's beautiful. So, oh, actually, I've got it upside down. It's that way it goes.
Nice.
I was actually thinking that looked like a vase.
Yeah.
I thought, how beautiful was that? But such a beautiful design. And actually, if you've got a little clock face or a stamp with a clock, you could use it.
Do you know, I
like,
always say this one reminds me of a grandfather.
yeah, it does look like that, doesn't it?
You're on my
Absolutely
page.
beautiful. Yeah, I have to say, this is my favourite. I love the Merry Christmas stamped around there. I think it's very clever. I love this one in a shabby chic design, which looks really beautiful. This is clever, Jamie, using them as corners.
Yeah,
First time I've seen that.
This one actually, she's just put them in as a corner element. I'll show you in a second, actually, because I could have shown you that on the last one, how you can actually tuck things inside them.
Oh,
so if you make
that's
them and you want
great.
to, yeah, as a scrapbooker, I love scrapbooking.
Yes,
so if you don't want to put anything
photo
onto your
corners.
actual photos, perfect way to use them
Of
for that as well.
course,
I'll
I
show you
love
in a
that
sec.
design, really beautiful. So that's our 3rd set, and then we've got one more to show you, so let's bring this design in as well. So another sort of circular one, but with a bit of a festive flourish. So, and it is called Festive Flourish, so I obviously read that to actually say that, didn't I? Turn it around the right way. So you've got all those different stamps, and actually, Jamie, what I love about it is you've really filled this stamp set. Every part of that is filled.
We do, so basically we have to pay for the size of the sheet, being quite
Yes.
honest. So we
Yeah,
try
yeah,
and fill in as many details as we can, so you get as much value for money as we can possibly give you. So even them little twiddles and swirls and bits, if we can fit them in, we'll give them to you.
They are just stunning. So if you want to go for them individually, you can. Look at that. I mean, honestly, it is beautiful. So lovely. All them different designs that you can do with them. Large cards, bigger cards, but actually, look at that. I mean, that is really thinking outside the box. Just using them as beautiful rosettes for your, that is so lovely. I mean, who would not want to get a gift like that?
I will be honest, I completely stole this idea. I thought I did, completely. I do, honestly, hands up.
Oh, I love
I taught
it.
a class, and one of the participants to the class actually did one of these and uploaded it after the class. And I was like, that's such a good idea to use them as rosettes for
That's a
packaging.
brilliant idea.
So, that's where
I
it's
love
sort of
it.
come from.
And
I
we're
think
all
it's brilliant.
about, aren't we, using packaging that's environmentally friendly. So I think that's a great way of adding even more just paper to there and being able to recycle, which is a great idea. So yeah, you can get all of them today for $45.99 or £73.99. So I believe you're going to do a demo next using these, Jamie.
Yep, so this is the one that we're going to do next. This is going to use our lovely Winter Wonderland stamp set. And as I mentioned, we're going to use it as a back plate more than actually one that we're going to fold with. But I'll show you how it cuts and works, and we'll cover it again in a demo later. But we're going to be using the mini design in the middle. Now, every element on this actual card, as in all of your layers, all started off white, and it was with our airless misters that I've achieved our colours. So this is what I wanted to talk to you about. When we're using our copier papers or our cardstock and we want to actually add some colour to them, we have incredible airless misters at Cosmic Shimmer. Now, we've got 12 of these on today's show for you, so you've got an awful large colour range that you can go for. With an airless mister, if you've not seen them before, these are actually quite clever. And I'll show you one here without a label on it, because I always think we cover up the sort of science behind them. So I've brought one with me today without the label. As we use the product, the base inside the bottle will rise up. So you've always got the perfect vacuum to when it comes to actually mist and spray. It actually then means that there's no pipe in here to get blocked. So there's no way even the ones with mica in them can get blocked. It also means we can even spray them upside down because we've got that perfect vacuum working inside the bottle. Then it means we can spray in any direction that you want to. I'm going to use amber lights to begin with, and I'm just working on some copy paper on a tray here, and I'm just going to go ahead and mist across it. Now I thought it'd be fun to build up a bit of a colour scheme or a bit of a multicoloured background, so a nice layer of amber lights to begin with. Because we're doing Christmas, I thought we'd have some poppy red as well, so we can layer these, so you can mix them up quite nicely. You can also spray them out and paint with them too, and they're obviously a water-based product, so if you wish to add water to them and sort of weaken them down slightly, you can do. We're then going to bring in Copper Blaze. Now this is one of our ones that have got mica in it. So when we come to actually spritzing this one over the top, you're not going to see it instantly, but when it dries, we're going to have a lovely mica shimmer to it. Now you can do this as much or as little as you wish to and build up your papers however you want to. Now the bit I really love is because we're working on copy paper, what's going to happen is this ink is going to go through and it's going to colour the reverse. So whenever we're doing our folds, especially with the intricate dies, more so than the square I'm going to be using for this demo, it will actually absorb through colour both sides, so you're not going to see any white on the reverse, which is quite a handy little tip for you. Now obviously dry time is going to vary depending on how much you put on here, but I would imagine about 45 minutes for what I've done here. So we'll leave that to one side, and we'll find a piece which I've already done. So this is one which is already dried and been worked on. So as you can see, this started as just ordinary white copy paper, but we have your mica on the top there to give it that shimmer.
Jamie, can I just ask, how long does that take to dry?
It's really down to how much you put on top, but probably about 45 minutes.
Oh, okay,
roughly.
so within an hour.
At home, I'll be honest, at the moment, at home in my conservatory, it's a mini oven. So if I took that tray in there and just left it on the side, it's about 5 minutes.
Do you ever force dry them?
You can do, but anytime you've got puddles on there, I quite like the puddles to sit, and so I'll end up with more of a pattern than just a sheet colour. If you start heating it with a heat gun, it won't blow up or anything, there's no reason it can't, but you're going to push that pattern into just one blended background.
Of course.
So it's up to you, you can certainly do that if you want to, but if you can let it dry down, even if it's just when the puddles are gone and you want to give it a blast to set it a little bit quicker, that tends to be the better way to do it. But it can be done.
Brilliant. So you could literally batch make them, couldn't you? Just then let them all dry and have different effects each time.
So with my little baking trays, these
I love that idea.
These go into my conservatory and stack, and I will do hundreds of them, leave them to dry and then come back.
And actually, I know you probably didn't do it for that reason, but because they're metal in your conservatory, they probably dry really quick because it gets hot.
Yep, you have to be careful when you pick them up. But it does work.
I baked this one earlier.
So what we will do next is we'll take our piece of paper and we're going to do some stamping on top of it. So we're going to bring in this lovely large square design, and I'm also going to highlight on this one. This is one of my favourite stamps from the collection, is this holly piece down the bottom, and we're hopefully going to use that on one of the demos later on today. But it's such a lovely one to either stamp up as a border or to add on and then draw down little lines and put little baubles coming down off of it with our tea bag folding. So we'll place that down, we'll open our stamp press to pick up a stamp. Let's go for some Versamark ink, but whichever ink you wish to work with is fine. These are standard clear stamps, so whichever you're used to working with will be grand. We'll add our ink to that one, and we can stamp this down. Now I do love a stamp press because I'm not the best stamper, so if this goes wrong we can redo it, but no, that's perfectly crisp. Now one thing you will notice, I'm going to bring in this one that you might be able to see, if we give this a bit of a wiggle, when the black ink sort of goes into it and it dries, you will find the mica will actually shine through on the top, so we've got more of a colour come through. So again, stamping in black ink can work really nicely. So we'll take this off of the sheet for the second, and I'll show you how we can actually cut this one out. And I won't do it for speed, but I'll show you just quickly. So I'll find my square die. Now these are of course going back to the original dies. Where have I hid my square? Here it is. So with all of the stamp set, and the die combos. When we bring the die in and we lay this on top, you'll hopefully see that there is a frame run around the outside of it. So you know that your die is in exactly the right place.
Oh, that's perfect.
So when it cuts out, it's going to be perfect for you and ready to fold. Okay? So we'll place that off to one side for the second because I've already done that. And we'll bring in one of our mini ones. So I've gone ahead again with one of my sheets and cut through to create my little mini piece. And we're going to do exactly the same as what we did last time. I'm going to try and recover the same fold. So hopefully if you're trying to get this to sink in a bit, it's going to help. So we're going to fold again in half and go across it with our bone folder. We're then going to open that out and we're going to go in half in the opposite direction. Folding down. And then we're going to open that out, so we're looking at it again as a compass, and we're going to push our north and our east together, and then we're going to do the same again with our south and our west, and push that in. At that point, we're back down now to our quarter square, and we can then bring over these top pieces, and we're going to fold those again into the middle. So these little mini ones, again, are really good if you're looking at postage costs, and you would like to do mini elements, or again, if we are thinking of using these as photo corners. So if I bring in something, actually, because I never did show you that, did I? If we bring in this panel, for instance, and we wish to, we could poke that into the side, and that's where your photo corner element would come in, so it can then hold your pieces in place, whether that's with your fancy ones or your plain ones. And the fancy ones are quite lovely because obviously whatever you put through underneath is going to shine through all of the holes, which will give you a nice idea too.
Oh, that's perfect, isn't it? And such a good way. So if you love your scrapbooking, if you love all your different elements of putting your photos into something, they're going to work really well. I really love the idea of doing miniature ones like this because it just makes it quite a mindful project to do, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now we're getting really busy, so I just want to say make sure you get them in your baskets and check out because you are loving these tea bag and folding. Can I just ask, Jamie, is copy paper one of your best elements that you craft with to make the tea bag folding?
Either these or the paper pads that we've bought today. The paper pads again are really good because they're the perfect weight to use.
Yes.
So if you want more colours and you don't necessarily want to make your own coloured papers, then they're perfect to work with. Or if you'd like them patterned, maybe you're not a stamper, so you'd prefer to have them as a patterned paper and actually just cut them through on those, that again would work perfectly for you.
I've just looked at the paper pads, so they're 120 GSM, so yeah, a great weight to use. So do shop ahead on those ones because we have two lots of paper pads in the different colours. So it's great that you can have them ready to use, or if you want those misters, go for those and create like Jamie's doing here.
So I'm just going ahead and I'm just poking in these extra folds into the inside of the medallion to make up our rosette. I'm using a dry as clear glue, so a little bit of seepage there, but that's not a problem. That will soon set and that'll be absolutely fine. So we'll go ahead and we'll build up the rest of our card. Trying to avoid my inky bit off to the side there. Got a bit carried away with my airless misters, so we'll come back to that in a moment. I'm going to use a couple of panels. So again on here, I've misted my panel in the middle. We're going to place that down, checking that our card is opening the right way. And then we're going to bring in another panel, again using our airless misters on the top of this one to add in our colour. And we're going to place that down on the top. And then that stamped image that we did, I've gone ahead and I've already layered this onto some gold mirror card and I've built it up with some foam tape and pads on the reverse so I can place that on from one side.
That looks so pretty. I love using those stamps in the background like that just as a stamp and then having those smaller elements on top. It looks really beautiful.
Thank you. It does seem to work quite nicely and it also gives you more than one use for your stamps as well, which is quite a lovely way to use them. You mentioned earlier about the mindfulness of the folding.
Yes.
Once you've done a couple of these, honestly, I promise you, it becomes second nature.
Yep.
And you can just cut them and then sit and do them when you're watching telly.
Absolutely. A little
really
lap
lovely
tray
thing to
and
do.
just have them ready to just fold.
Then we'll pop that down into the middle there. And then if you want to, you can add a sentiment onto it or you can just add a little gem into the middle. With my finished one I'm going to share with you, I've added a big button to the centre of it and a little Christmas wishes off to one side. But this is the beauty of these. It's down to you where you wish to put them and where you wish to finish them off.
Absolutely. I mean, that is stunning. That's like simplicity, but with a lot of work in it. And people are going to really appreciate that, getting a card like that home. What I really love about it, and I'm sure you do at home, is the fact that you can create something very different to the ordinary cards that we're doing. Jamie's always very good at bringing us something very different, which is amazing. Just a few little highlights. We've got lots of wows on social, which is amazing. My Dow's texted in and said that he wants to call the snowman Raymond after Raymond Briggs, who passed away sadly this week because he was the author of, the illustrator for the snowman. So we could call him Raymond. Any ideas for the little snowman? This is the snowman we're talking about. We're going to name him at some point today because he's just super cute. One of the things you can do with one of those mini dies, the oval dies that Jamie was using, amazing. And everyone is saying, yeah, absolutely, they're tiny and they're cute. Eva's B has said she saved the show because great ideas and lovely demos. She loves the stamps, they're actually absolutely amazing. We've also got people saying that they absolutely love them. Alicia's saying, Alexia is saying that she hopes that you do a butterfly demo. I think that may be coming in
next.
Oh, it's coming next. I thought it to the end. Anyway,
Yeah.
we're going to let you check out your baskets and we're just going to have a bit of a break. So have a look at this.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash. Draw, decorate, and customize your world with the colorful Spectrum Noir acrylic paint markers. Each premium paint marker gives opaque coverage on ceramic, glass, wood, and let's not forget paper, cardstock, and canvas. These versatile markers are filled with highly pigmented premium water-based paint, offering beautiful, rich, and smooth coverage. The colors can be blended together and the fast-drying opaque paint is ideal for layering. A 3mm bullet tip offers smooth strokes and a precision valve mechanism allows rich and consistent flow with no clogging. Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash.
Here at Crafters TV, it couldn't be easier to get your hands on the latest crafty must-haves. Leave the hard work to us while you shop from the comfort of your own living room. Head to the Crafters Companion website to see our full crafty range, or hit the Shop the Day button to see all the new and exciting products featuring on Crafters TV. Once you've filled your cart, leave it to us to get your crafty goodies to you in super quick time, so you can get on with being creative. Crafters Companion, making crafty shopping a breeze.
Hello and welcome back. You're joining us on Crafters TV on Wake Up Call. It is exactly 12:40 on a Friday, not a fake Friday, a real Friday. You know how we love a fake Friday on a Crafters TV, but it's a real Friday today. Let us know what you're up to, all your plans for the weekends, because we'd love to hear. You're certainly letting us know that you're loving what Jamie is doing, so lots of us join us on social. Now remember, at Crafters TV we are completely social, interactive. You can get in touch, you can ask Jamie questions, and we will do our best to answer all of those. So come back for our 2 o'clock show later on and think of all those things you want to say and we can answer as many as possible. We do, however, have one more demo lined up for Jamie to do, and he is going to be showing us how to do that butterfly, and that came from Eve B, who wanted to see that, so stay tuned because it's coming up. But first of all, I did want to show you the paper pads that we've got. They're papers which are are 120 GSM, which are perfect for the tea bag folding. You've got that perfect weight, so copy of paper works, and then 120 papers. And if you don't want to get messy and you just want to make some quick ones, or like Jamie said earlier, sitting in front of the telly, having a lap tray, doing some of those tea bag folding, you've got all these beautiful papers that you can do it. So we've got our classic Christmas, which obviously offers you all those classic colours. I love that one in that beautiful green, absolutely amazing. And then we've got our classic Christmas shades. So that one's our classic Christmas, and then we've got our classic Christmas shades, which is beautiful. And in fact, Jamie, so I've just realised, so these are our patterned ones, and then we've got our solid colours.
Exactly. So the idea is you've got everything so it can sort of work together. So if you wish to have them, so you've got your plain colours to mat and layer with, then your fancy ones on top, you can work it that way, or however you wish.
Oh, look at them.
They don't have to just be used for tea bag.
Oh, Jamie, these smell lovely. Do you know there's some papers that just smell really nice? You can just flick them. Sorry, I'm trying to show you, and all I'm doing is sniffing them.
That's fine, carry on.
They really smell lovely. Yeah, beautiful design. Oh, they're so nice. If you're a paper sniffer out there, you've got to get these just to smell them. I love these. So both packs you're getting. Is it both packs or just the one? Jamie, both packs or
it'll
just
be
the
both.
one?
Sorry, I never like to get too involved in case I'm wrong, but no, it should be both at that
Yeah,
price.
it should be both of them.
Should
So
be both.
$19.49. So just flicking through them again so you can see all those different coloured papers. And what I love is that these ones, yes, so you've got the shades which are going to tone in with them. I'm a bit of a lover of paper pads that have a matching solid colour.
Well, I think we've all been there, haven't we? You get a lovely paper pad and then you want the
look at
shades to
them.
coordinate with, and you can have so many colours of card or paper at home.
Yeah.
You haven't got the right
Look at them
shades.
blues.
So this is the
Love
idea
that.
that everything will coordinate for you.
Oh, these are amazing. I absolutely love these. I think not just for your tea bag folding, but for all your crafting, I think these are amazing. So you get those 2 packs, $19.49 today, or $25.99. And like Jamie said, they've been made specifically to go with your tea bag folding because they're that perfect weight, which is amazing. And I know exactly what you mean, Jamie, because sometimes if you're folding card, it just packs it too much, doesn't it?
does, yes.
Yeah, so having that perfect weight is amazing. So we're going to go to the Daisy Doily. So I've just put them away, Jamie, because you told me a different number. We've got different numbers on. I've got all the plain ones. I'm just going to have to nip across and go and get all my other ones here. So we're going to be showing those doily ones. So let me just bring these back across. Do you know what? We have so much. Yeah, that's what it is. We have so much. So it wasn't you, Jamie. It's producer Jamie. I sounded like I was telling Jamie off in the studio, wasn't it? It was producer Jamie my ear. I thought we were on a different number. So yeah, this one is beautiful. So this is our Sunburst. Beautiful design. Absolutely love that one. Really gorgeous. Lots of different samples here that we're going to show you, hanging those ones up. I love that you can create decorations, Jamie. We haven't even pointed out the tree behind you, which actually has the decorations on. So we just have a quick look at that and see all those decorations in the tree behind Jamie, which are amazing.
So you've got all the different ones on here. We've got our Starburst, we've got our Folk Heart, we've got our lovely Doily Daisy as well, and even hiding at the top here we've got our lovely jewelled one as well. So it's up to you which design you go for. You could of course do the mini ones too, or the ovals if you prefer, or of course do the originals and stamp them. So lots and lots of scope for those, and you could colour them to whatever year or theme you'd like to.
Right, so that's our first one with all those beautiful samples. Give me a chance to just pop across and get the others. And then we've got our gorgeous, this one is the Daisy Doily. Really beautiful design, this one. I also love, Jamie, that you could just leave them flat if you wanted and use them as those doily dies, couldn't you?
Absolutely.
Just put some nice flowers on the middle. But actually, it is a bit of a shame not to use them as they're intended because they make the most amazing dies. I think this is fast becoming my favourite. I like the doily design. design. Yeah, I think it's beautiful. I love this sample, absolutely amazing. And this one really does show. Has that been coloured with just pens inside
Around the
there?
edge, yeah, just Secura Jelly Glaze pens and some metallic markers. But again, you could paint them in with your ALS misters if you wanted to. The choice is yours.
So the stamps have that element to be able to be really creative with as well. And I love this one. It just reminds me of a lovely lollipop. It's just beautiful. It is a flower, but it just reminds me of a lollipop, which is beautiful. And then our next design, we have our jewelled doily. Another beautiful one. You don't have to choose. I mean, you can cherry pick if you want to, but the best way to get these for $62.99 or $110.99 is to buy all the collection, which are absolutely amazing. So just bringing in those ones. This is my favourite card of the Absolute show. I think that is just stunning. It's just beautiful. It's so much fun. It's sort of a carousel. It's like a festival, isn't it? A carousel.
It's playful, isn't it?
Yeah,
It
it's
really
just
is lovely.
so beautiful. Lots of different designs. We always know that Jamie and his team bring us just absolutely amazing samples, which are incredible. We are still going. So our fourth one here, we have got our folk cards, which I also like this design as well. You know, you look at one and then you think, oh, I really like that one. And then you find another one and then you think, actually, I really like that one. So all you've got to do is make up your mind which one you're going to craft with first, because everyone offers you something that little bit different and just looks incredibly pretty when you put them together. So we haven't got much longer. So Jamie, show us the butterfly.
Okay, so this is the butterfly that we're going to be working on. Now you can do this with all of the different folds. You could stamp them, or size dies, sorry, or you could stamp them if you wanted to give you a more Christmassy feel to them, or everyday, depending on the stamps you're using. There's so many options for this, is what I'm trying to say really. But this is the one we're going to build up, and we're actually going to be using two different dies to create this effect. We're going to be using our lovely Doily Daisy. I do struggle with these, Doily Daisy. And we're going to be using the pointy petals. Now these two dies are exactly the same shape. So when we layer them together, you can see here, even in a die format, they match up perfectly. I don't know if the black actually helps with that, does it? But they do match up perfectly. So it means that we can cut backing plates to go behind this one if we want to. And then we've got a solid underneath as such, which is what we're going to be doing for our butterfly. So I'm going to bring in here, this is a piece of pearl card. So earlier when I was talking about cutting thicker materials, you can absolutely do that. And you can even see as well, it will score it. So if you did want to fold and do different things, maybe you don't want to build them into rosettes, I will hopefully show you how we can build these into a 3D Christmas tree at some point today. You can do styles or items like that as well. What we're going to use for our butterfly though is only 3 sections. So we're going to cut out down our score line, and we're then going to cut down it on the third section round to remove just one panel. And that's what we're going to need. We're going to need 2 of these out of our 1 backing piece from our card. Now we're going to go actually onto the top part using the lovely daisy edged one. And with this, I've cut this out of vellum. So again, think of different materials that you want to play around with. But vellum again is a really good one to work with. And we're going to do exactly the same again. We're going to fold it in half, going across on itself, matching the pattern up, going to that score line, which has been nice and educated for you as such when it's cut through. And we're then going to do it again in the opposite direction. So just like we did before, we've added in that sort of plus sign and give us back our compass to work with. And we're going to go for the north and the east again, and we're going to post them 2 together. And at the same time, we're once again going to use the south and the west, and we're going to post them together. And that will leave us with this panel here. This time what we're going to do is each time up until now, we've lifted these 2 pieces up in the top, and we've folded them directly into the middle to do that style of fold. This time we're going to lift them up and we're actually going to fold them back on themselves. And this will give us more of a 3D fold, because instead of being quite flat, we can actually stand these panels out so they come up and stay in the air. And again, this is down to how you wish to give or send your card. If you want them to be 3D, you certainly don't have to, but it's quite a nice way to build them up if you are going to be putting it into a box or hand delivering it. So we're then going to do the same on the opposite side. So again, folding that one back on itself as such, so we can lift these out and have that 3D feel. Again, this is quite nice if you wish to nest them to make a Christmas tree, because you've got them layers coming out at you. What we're going to do though is we're going to bring in some glue and we're going to place a little bit of glue on the reverse here. And I know I'm putting glue onto vellum, but this is a dry as clear glue, and we're also going through quite a few layers, so you shouldn't hopefully see your glue once it's set. We're then going to place the first one down onto that panel we cut down. And actually, I'm doing these with the wrong ones, so I'm going to take that one out of the way again. I forgot, I'd already got these done with some gems on them, and they look much nicer with gems on. So let's bring in the ones with the gems on. So we've done our first one down there, and we're then going to add some glue onto the next panel, and we're going to bring this in, and we're going to overlap them two to build up our piece. We can also add a bit of glue under here to hold that down. And then we could just tease these two pieces out, meaning that we then have our first half to our butterfly. I'm just going to slide that around slightly, and that builds our first half. We would then do exactly the same for our other side as such, so we'd nest them two together and glue them onto our card, and that would then give us this piece here. And that's as simple as that to build your butterflies.
That is so clever.
It's not complicated, is it? It
Not at
really
all.
is quite easy. So we're just basically leaving pieces out of it. I've gone ahead with my butterfly and I've actually added in the body and the antennae from a set designed by Sue Wilson, which actually give you the separate pieces. But if you don't have the separate pieces, then of course you could take your ordinary butterfly dies, just cut away the wings, or even add them on with the wings to give you more depth as well. So it's just a way you can play around with them. We're then just going to bring in a piece of card and layer these up. And then we're going to place our butterfly onto there. And we're going to bring in a little word. We're going to use a million thanks. And we're just going to match in our colours. So it's going to match the body of the butterfly, the layer of the card beneath. And we're going to place this down on the corner just so it all matches in colour-wise. I like to put a colour on my card in 3 places so I feel it belongs. I've just spotted how wonky that panel is, but never mind, we're going to go with it and it will show you how that actually hopefully comes together and will look. So quite an easy butterfly to make. Again, you could make your Christmas trees out of them, your photo corners, whatever you wish.
Just in time, Gemma. I actually tried, you know what, I just picked up the misters and I thought, where's it gone? And one fell out the middle. I had them like this. So I had to run over and pick it up off the floor. So I was really quick. Jamie, that's amazing. I love the simplicity of that. And actually, just the versatility of these dies. So if you want to get these dies, you'll be able to get them from that number above for $62.99, $110.99. Which is amazing. So everyone is absolutely loving them. Rhonda has asked, will the dies cut on acetate?
The plain ones possibly would do, so the ones without the fretwork and the insert of them as such, depending on the type of acetate you're working with, and a lot depends on what machine you're working with as well. If you're working with a Gemini, again, you should be okay. You've got your metal mat, of course, that would help with that if it's needed. But the more delicate ones, I think they would probably struggle to be honest.
Yeah, and also I think the folding of that might be difficult. We do a printable acetate, which is like a wobblier acetate. Okay. It might cut out of those, but your little tiny shapes, you'll probably need the Gemini metal shim to try them. But what I would say is try them and see. Right, we're going to have a vote of the show. Becky didn't get anything finished for our show, so Jamie, it's all yours.
Oh,
so
wow.
Show us your makes.
Brilliant. Okay then. So demo number 1 then was our lovely paper pad card using our Starburst design.
I love that.
Demo number 2 is using our mini shapes. And then demo number 3, of course, is using the daisy to make our butterfly.
So 1, 2 or 3, so get your votes in for that because, yeah, quite a hard decision. They're all absolutely stunning. Right, so we are going to look at those shimmers, which are our airless misters. I love the design of these, Jamie. I think they're a really cool system and they work every single time, don't they, which are amazing.
They do, and as I mentioned earlier, it gives you that freedom to literally push down on them in any direction you wish to work with. Also, something I didn't mention is down to how hard you push the nozzle, depends on what style of spray you get from them. So if you push down very quickly, you're going to get a very intense spray.
Yeah.
If you tend to go slightly slower, you will end up with more of a fine mist from
Right.
them. So if you want to play around with your intensity, that will work too.
I never realised that, so absolutely amazing. Let's just have a quick look at the colours. So here we've got the Copper Blaze, the Green Galore and the Amber Lights. These boards are brilliant. I mean, I don't know if anyone's ever outed you, Jane, but look, I'm going to turn them around. I'm not that good at reading, but look at that. That's incredible. I love those boards. I can see exactly what they are on the tin and I can read them. I don't need my glasses. So if you want to go for those ones, there are Amber Lights and those ones are £5.50 or £8.25 and they're 50ml bottles, which are amazing. Our next set here, we've got our Lavender Rain, our Golden Sage and our Poppy Parade. So absolutely beautiful designs. Again, they all come in these beautiful design bottles. I absolutely love them. These will go great in some of our Totally Tiffany storage as well. So if you want to get your hands on them, absolutely amazing. These ones are very sparkly, quite like these. These have got like a shimmer in them. They're stunning. Love the colours on these ones, Jamie.
They're beautiful, aren't they?
Absolutely.
As you see, they work together so nicely as well.
So
And
we've
don't
got our
forget you can paint with
Flirty
them.
Pink. They're what? Sorry.
Don't forget you can paint with them as well. So if you miss them out,
okay.
you can literally paint with them with a brush as well.
Didn't
So many
realise
uses
that.
for these.
That's amazing. And then we've got our last one here, which is our Pine Green, our Blue Horizon and our Gold Rush. So you just choose which set you want to go for, or you might just want to greedy and treat yourself to all of them, which is absolutely amazing. So each one of those are going to be totally beautiful to use. Now, don't forget we've got any 5 for 4 as well. So a really good way to go for those. Beautiful price and beautiful, amazing products. Jamie, so you're back with us at 2 o'clock. What are we expecting?
Oh, I think I've got some more folding going on, obviously. I think we're going to be a 3D Christmas tree for gift charts as well.
Nice.
Yeah, some different folds to do as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, let's have a look and see if we have a winner. Oh, we do have a winner. What do you think it is, Jamie?
I reckon it's going to be the butterfly.
It is number
foil,
3. Jamie was right. So we're going to put that in our pick of the day and see which one is going to win. So we'll put that with Becky's later on, and Jamie will have some others with us as well. Now, we're going to be back for Softer Side at 2 p.m. So make sure you can join us then. 9 a.m. on the East Coast, 6 a.m. on the West Coast. It's going to be an amazing show. Becky's going to be doing more with those amazing stencils that you can use. Remember, you can use them in your paper crafting as well. Becky will be in at 2. Jamie's going to be back at 3 o'clock. So at 4 o'clock, I believe, aren't you? 4 till 5.
4.
Yeah, 4 o'clock. So we've got 2 hours for our soft, and then we've got an hour with Jamie from 4 to 5, and you'll have me as well there. So thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you for all your social media. Thank you, Grace, on social media as well. And thank you for everyone that sent us in a comment. It's been a lovely couple of hours. We're going to go and have some lunch now, and we'll be back at 2 o'clock. See you then. Bye.